Well, today is day 5 of the heat wave here in the Susquehanna Valley, and summer is officially here, so that means it's not cooling down anytime soon. But with the heat means rising utility bills, and we crank up that AC, you know it. But there is a way to help pay for those bills for certain individuals, and Julie Kennedy, the Associate Director of Community Initiatives for United Way of Lancaster County, is here to talk about that one initiative that helps with cooling costs. Julie, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate having you. So if folks need help with their utility bills, how can they go about doing that? What does that program look like?
It's very simple. They would call 211, and they can also go online to pa211.org, and they will be able to access resources from utility assistance, certain programs that will actually help them with the weatherization of their homes to make it more energy efficient within their homes. But all of those resources are going to be accessible through 211.
Yeah, now do those individuals who need help, do they have to meet certain criteria, or is there a certain program they have to go through before they get that help?
The 211 resource navigators will be equipped to provide all of those eligibility requirements for individuals. I won't say that anyone that feels like they might not be able to receive services should refrain from calling, because everyone would be surprised what's out there for assisting.
That's what I was going to say. Will people really be surprised? Is this one of those things where you have no idea how many resources are out there until you look into it?
It's abundant. There really is. We have such a great community of organizations that really come together, especially during times where, like a heat wave, where there can be severe medical issues that result from not having, utility assistance or just like the resources to get cool.
Yeah.
That there are such wonderful organizations that have given their information to us, and then we relay that to people that call.
You've been working with 211 for quite some time now. Have you seen over the years the increase in people who are needing help with these utility bills?
Utility assistance was our second highest need that we responded to last year. It's trending to be the same this year. The one above that is housing. So we all know that that need is also pretty high.
Yeah, well, speaking of resources, we know for 211, a portion of that is funding that comes from the state. We know that there's a whole budget that's going to be happening. That deadline is by June 30th. Are you all concerned about what could or may not happen for that budget?
We're asking for an increase from our $750,000 that we normally receive to $2 million. And that is in response to the number of individuals that we need to hire to support that call volume. We also want to keep the hold time and the wait time low, because we want to be able to respond quickly to these individuals that are really, that need that help as quickly as possible.
So in your experience, do legislators, do they seem supportive of the funding?
I don't think anyone has said that they don't support it. It's just finding those areas where they can fill in that backfill that funding. But I think what is really something to think about for legislators is the prevention of those extreme emergencies. 911 would have less calls in if we were able to get those individuals that are at risk of health issues to utility assistance or cooling centers. So it really is a push-pull situation.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It sounds like it's a trickle effect, that everything is really connected.
Yep.
So if anybody's out there watching and they need help, what do you want people to know? If someone's watching this, what is the one thing, the one takeaway that you want them to be able to take away from this interview to say that this is how I can get help?
Yes, we always say that 211 should never be your last call. It should be your first call. So pick up the phone. Anyone, about 99% of America can call 211, sorry, and 911. And that we are there 24/7, 365. So we were always there. A human will pick up. You won't talk to a bot. And we're all local neighbors here and ready to assist you.
Yeah, well, listen, not talking to a bot, talking to a human. That makes a world of a difference, and people need help out there. So thank you so much for making that happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.